Hello guys, welcome on board for this round 3 of Road America
Yes, yes,
for
yes. Hello, everybody. Hello.
S397 and the race.
We got a beautiful race in Road America today with a lot of tenders I see today. I've seen we got a couple LMP2 cars, a few dozens. I won't say dozens, but respectable LMP2 cars, which is good, good. And a whole boys: Barrett Erickson, John, Joe Brown, Nigel on the GTE. And, yeah, this is gonna be an epic race
A
today.
lot of GTE, that's gonna be sick.
It
Last time we
is.
had so much fun with them racing on the wet. This time the broadcast, the weather report says there is no rain coming, so it would be a dry race. It's
The,
gonna be a very fun race, 1 hour and a half with pure joy and pure racing.
Indeed, there's no rain today based on what the forecast said, but what there is today is some hot action expected, especially from Joe Brown. You see him right now. And you can see the event is going to happen in Road America with the 14 turns, 652 kilometers. That's about 4.5 something miles. we speak kilometers, he's
4
only,
point
it's Europe,
something,
right?
yeah.
It's Europe, even though it's American car, American cars. Hey, let's not talk about that. Uh, what we can talk
That's
about is the schedule we have. Today is the 6th February, the third race of this endurance series. Uh, it'll happen in few moments. We got qualifying in 20
3 minutes.
GMT, right? That's in about less
Yes.
than 3 minutes. The race will start, I assume, if I can check. Yeah, it's in 2020.
9:20.
Yeah, that's 9:20 if GMT plus or minus one. Basically, if you're living in Spain, Italy, and all that. But if you're in UK and all, it's 2020 GMT. And Road America, I wouldn't say it's easy, but it's a challenging track. It's a challenging track. You gotta get
We
your
can
corners
rate
right.
the track from 5 star. We can say is a 3.5.
Yeah, but from a challenging level, it is a track that requires a little bit of focus. When I say a little bit of focus, I mean a lot of focus. We all know that, right?
Yes.
You gotta get your breaking point right. You gotta get
It's
everything
very
correctly.
difficult in the middle.
Yes, and
The
it's
middle
an hour and a
sector is
half
very
race. Is that
difficult.
right, Sam?
Yeah, I agree with you. I totally
It's an
agree
hour
with
and a
you.
half race and about 92 minutes. And then I guess if you just like perform and do your strategy well, it should be an easy dub, as we say.
Last time we saw Ericsson doing a fantastic management of the tire, and then he got the win
He did get
by
the win.
far.
He did get the win. Indeed.
We saw the Porsche flying, but that was not meant for them. He just came back, took the position, and lead the race and win.
I mean,
With a
he
good
deserved it.
strategy, you can do everything.
He deserved it.
And
That was a well-deserved win.
as you can see right now, he is the fastest, and he's fighting with John. John is right there. So, and Brown is also there. So they are gonna fight again.
That is true. That is true. Barrett Erickson put a good strategy, and I wouldn't say he was lucky, but he was the right man at the right time.
Yes,
He won.
in
He
the right
he.
position also because the moment the race started increasing, he pitted with the he was with the new tires. The other were struggling, like the Porsche, who was very fast in the beginning, but with the tire getting worse, he was so slow and very slippery.
Indeed,
And
he climbed up 3 positions from P3, and John remained in his position P2. John van der Gest talking, while Jen Roos climbed up 9 position. If I'm correct, yes, he did.
yes,
That was fantastic. While Joe Brown dropped 3 places.
three
Looking
places.
at
He
the
was
thing
on
right here,
pole.
it's a
Joe
little bit
Brown took the
confusing.
pole last time, but then he didn't get the pace, or he was fast, but then with the tire getting worse, he didn't uh, had the pace like
That
the
is
other.
true. That is true. That is true. And looks like in LMP1 there was 3 cars, which Tony Talviti, Carl Middleton, and Johnny Gutierrez, respectively, or whatever you guys say that. But in order, so to
Don't
say.
worry, that's
Sorry, my English is not working today. Um, they were driving the Ginetta G60, and Tony won that race. He was at the end. He was alone, I Yes, as he
Everybody's in the
finished
pits.
56
The
laps. And
qualifying is starting right now.
yes, and let's not talk about history. Let's talk about the qualifying happening right now. It looks like it's going to be
Let's
a mixed qualifying, I assume.
let's see
Or
who is going first out.
I presume it was, I think, I don't know, the admins,
Goody
what they said
is
about
getting out.
qualifying. Make sure to check out. But it looks like Gutierrez is already out. There was nothing about. It says,
They need to uh, preserve the tire in the outlap because Road America it can be very hard on tire, so
yeah.
they need
So
to very very be careful.
that is true. And after I checked the what the admin said, there is no rules about qualifying. So I assume it's mixed. Yeah, as we can see,
Yes,
Lewis
there
Middleton
is
has
the
been
GTE going out.
following
Everyone
Johnny.
is out, so we will try to keep you updated on the
Yes.
best.
Again, a little bit of hiccup right there. Looks like a yellow in sector 3.
Yeah,
But
there was a guy slow, yeah, to make the LMP pass.
yes. We have Talviti
There
passing John, and looks like he wants to be the front runner.
is a teammate run today, so
There are teammates, and they're the only drivers in
yes,
this race.
the
I
only
guess
two racing. Yes,
they're free to fight.
I hope.
Nothing to lose unless they keep it on track.
I hope it's not like Ferrari, but I think
Let's
they're
hope
gonna
not.
fight
Let's
on
hope
lap
not.
one.
Let's not foreshadow.
Today, Harper, I'm watching Fred Harper. I want the pole of Harper today. Last time he was
Yeah.
fast, and in the GT, you're betting the money on who?
In the
So let's,
GT, I would say I would put my money on Joe Brown and Joan Van Der Gest. Like those, I believe.
okay,
But don't take
okay,
anybody out of the game here. Like that's
okay.
just a personal
No, no, no,
opinion.
no, no.
But
You need to say one. You have
I
30
had to pick.
seconds.
I had to pick Brown, respectfully.
Okay,
But
okay.
but
I'm
you
gonna pick
cannot.
my man, Barrett Jackson. He's gonna do the pole today.
Yeah, but I can't take anybody out of this equation. I mean, last
And
race proved me wrong. The
no, no,
pace
no.
had nothing to do with who
You
won.
no, I said you have to choose one guy.
Yes,
Don't,
I
don't,
mean we're looking at
don't.
Barrett Erickson right now, and it looked like he's doing a good lap right now.
No, you said Joe. So you're
Yes.
going with Joe, I'm going with Barrett.
All right.
And
All
in
right.
the
Then let's play
LMP,
that
I'm
game.
going with the Harper, and you're gonna with going with
LMP2.
yes, LMP2.
I,
I'm
I,
going
I
with
have
Harper.
actually. I know Jason White personally, so
Okay,
from
you go
a
with Jason.
perspective, I have to go
And
with Jason.
LMP1, I'm going with Gucci.
Yeah, Guti is known to be a very
We can
fast
agree
driver.
on that.
We can. Johnny is indeed a very good driver.
Good is going for the. At the moment, LMP Pony is flying. He's flying at the moment. He's the fastest. But these are the first laps, so let's see what can happen. Watching his line, they're very clean.
I mean, looking at
Wow.
Tony Talviti, this guy is like putting in good work. I mean, his last race was in Studio 397 NASCAR Xfinity, which he qualified first. Unfortunately, he got an 8 at the end, but it was a good qualifying session by Tony himself. And almost dominated the BMW race with qualifying first and getting second. His resume speaks for itself. This guy is here
He's
to
two
fight.
seconds faster than Johnny Goody.
Yeah,
Oh, first lap cracking lap.
indeed, but that doesn't mean Johnny is not
Now
the
there
right
are
man
20
for it.
laps to go. Anything can happen. Just
Absolutely anything
remember,
can happen.
the
This is
last lap is the count. So
Barrett
anything
Dixon
can
is on the
happen.
fastest sector 1 and sector 2.
But John is matching this time, so they are there. They are
They
not
are there indeed.
giving an inch. So anything can happen. John did 203.
Yeah, it looks
Let's
like
see.
Sector 1 was robbed from Brad
I
Erickson.
two tenths. Okay, that's very good. First laps. Nigel in third position, and two Middleton. One
Wow.
is Lewis, and the other one is Nigel. So everybody is running with the soft.
Yeah, I mean you have to, and lowest minimum or minimum fuel you can have
Yes,
on the car. Well, I assume the cars have qualification preset, which you must put on, otherwise you'll be losing big time on straights. As we see Barrett Exon going down into the left turn, keeping that car stable and cool. As he goes uphill, it locks the brake a little bit as he throws the car to the left corner.
as you can see,
Yes,
he's
he's got a little bit of
driving
traffic.
very
He's got Tom
clean.
Parton. Does he know is he on a lap? He sees that. He gives him a little, but I think that robbed a little bit of time as he squeezes his car through that.
Yes, his
He,
first sector is not as fast as the other, but
yeah, it was yellow one. He's about 6 tenths down, but hey, it's only
this
six
might be
down, I
his
guess.
uh, l- normal lap to go to the box and then go out again. Since they cannot quit,
Oh, and he goes off
and
track there. He's pushing hard.
left,
I would
he's
assume
pushing.
this lap won't be as good as he was
No, no,
expecting.
I think he would beat at the end of
Yeah,
this one.
I mean he still have 8 minutes to go for another lap. So as John looks like he set the fastest lap so far with 2 minutes 3. He's going for new
They're all
tires.
going okay. The
Joe
Nigel
Brown
is
is
going.
Nigel
Nigel,
didn't improve, did he?
he's improving.
He is improving. Where's that gonna put him?
P2, incredible,
Wow, good stuff by Nigel. Good
incredible.
stuff. Look at the the split between the guys. 110th between each drivers, John, Middleton, and Brown.
They're very close. They're
This is
very close.
close than I thought, man.
Jason Whitehead is flying. This guy is doing something else.
But the track condition is getting better as we see Jason Whitehead.
There are more rubber.
Yes, going for that
Also,
flat out corner, coming down to a corner where you have to downshift down to third gear. I assume why is he slowing down? We have no idea right now. That was some weird slow. Maybe he's doing a cool down lap. We have no information on that because it looks
his
like
first
sector two
sector
was
was very fast. I
first sector was
think,
fast. I think he gave up on the lap, most likely.
yes, he won the lap because he made a little mistake, but yeah, he's going to the box. So
Yeah,
he
now we
have
understand.
more on his time, so anything can happen.
Indeed.
Barrett doesn't improve. Let's see his middle sector. So he have to improve his middle sector and the last sector. He
Indeed.
can do John time.
I mean, Barrett Exon really wants to put a good lap. He's trying, as we can see right now, but it doesn't look like it's clicking. He's only 2 turns down on sector 2.
Let's
On
remember, also at Patras, he was not the fastest in quali.
Yeah,
His
but like
car very stable
you,
in the
I mean, you still want to
uh,
perform in the
race.
qualification.
As we know, there are new BMW coming tomorrow. The new DLC is coming up,
That is
so
right.
the Beyond Food family is gonna even more.
It's getting bigger and bigger.
Yes, it's going to the box. I think he didn't like.
Yeah, he has
Oh,
to
Nigel.
abort that lap.
Okay.
As we see Nigel, there is a no escape rule in this race, so which means if you escape anywhere, escape by that I mean clicking the button escape,
Yes,
and
and go to the
anywhere
box
beside
fast.
the pit area, it's like leaving your car. So going again and doing a lap would get you disqualified from presumably the race or the qualifying session. I don't know how the penalty goes, but it's a penalty. You get a penalty for that.
Rick loves the BMW.
He did. As we see, John goes a little bit. Oh, and we have a crash right there. You saw that. I mean,
Yes,
that was a misunderstanding by the car that was rejoining the track.
they had a little
They have to limp. They have to
misunderstanding,
limp
but
their
that's
car to.
fine. That's fine.
But Sam, they
Nothing
have to
happened.
limp their car back to the pit to get
Prepare.
that. Yeah,
Yes.
because they cannot escape.
Uh,
Otherwise, they will be considered as
maybe
leaving the car.
in this occasion they can give him.
Just gotta follow. Appreciate that. Much
Thank you for the
appreciated.
follow, Pegasus. Thank you very much.
John van der Gest is P2 right now. Nigel Middleton took it from him by half a second. And John isn't improving right now as we get a yellow in sector 3. John is still way a little bit far from sector 3, so it shouldn't be a problem. But he's 2/10 down in his first sector. John has been putting a good performance lately.
Joe Brown today is missing. Since he's not driving with the
Joe Brown is here.
Porsche today.
Oh, he changed his car. It's the Aston Martin.
Yes.
Great choice, though. I mean,
I
what would you?
think it would have been faster in the Porsche.
Yeah, I mean, that's some questionable
Yes.
decisions, but we are not the one to make that. Maybe John knows.
You know more than what we know. So.
Yes, he's on track. Has the better judgment for now, as he's an Andrew. Looks like he got Joe as a traffic, but doesn't look like Andrew is improving on his lap anyway, so shouldn't be a problem. But it looks like Joe gave him
Everybody's on the
space.
hot lap, so they're gonna put the last moment lap anywhere. So they need a clean track position and get the right slipstream.
I mean, if you look at Barrett Ericsson and his record, it looks like he's pretty consistent with his results. I mean, as we see, he did a Super Formula race, qualified 9, finished 11. Patras third, as you know, he won that race. Fuji got 7 and finished 7. I mean, you can look at his results. He's consistent.
He's very consistent.
The position he qualifies on is most likely the position he will finish on.
Yes, yes.
That's
He's very consistent. In
that's
race,
consistency. Yes.
endurance race, anything can happen. But today, at the end of the day, he's not the fastest, but the most consistent guy to win.
Yeah, it's an endurance race. Being the fastest helps you out, but I wouldn't say it would be a factor, the 100% factor for you to win. As we see the glowing brakes from Barrett Ericsson. Looks like he closed the radiator tip or not. Sorry about it. What's it called, Sam?
Brake duct.
The brake ducts. The brake ducts. Looks like they were closed down as much as he can go, as we saw those glowing red brakes.
Not improving. He's very slow. He's 4 tenths off. Let's say Joe Brown, what to do in first sector.
I mean, if you look at the LMP2 as well, Jason Whitehead is dominating right now. He's 2 seconds ahead.
John is improving.
Yeah, but
he found an LMP running his lap.
I guess traffic is playing a big role.
Yes, at the moment, yes. Since Road America is not that big, and we have plenty cars driving around, and
yeah, that could be a factor. As Nigel put it down from 519 milliseconds to 451, which is about a 1/10, but he needs to do better than that. I know he can. He knows he can, and he's going for it right now. It looks like.
He did it, bro.
It looks like he's going for turn 1, looking for that apex to use as a brake marker, as a breakdown. Put in that car. Looks like his brakes are flashing.
Yes, everybody have another lap, so let's see what they do.
Yes.
In P1, Tony, after 1 lap, he's in the box, relaxing. Goody doesn't have the pace. As you can see, he's here waiting.
Yeah, I mean Tony is not out, has a comfortable
position driving, of but he's 2 seconds off.
Little he can do, Tony, for now. I mean, when you're 1.9 seconds behind, you can sit comfortably and, you know. I mean, at the end, it's his teammates, so.
Yeah, at the end of the day,
no harm can be done, I guess.
The result is there, so he's improving, but way off.
He is improving, but not by much. He's 8/10 up. Is that 8? Yeah, he didn't break.
8 tenths. Yes.
Yeah, that should be relatively Okay, I mean, their first sector is like 8 tenths. He's 8 tenths behind Tony,
Yes.
only on the first sector. So you can only imagine the rest. As nothing changed in terms of
No,
classification, as
nobody is improving.
Jason White is still leading the P2 class, and Nigel, John
Nigel is
improved right now with a he's almost three
Joe Brown.
tenths. John van der Gest, that is. John Brown also improved a little bit. Barrett Erickson, he's like really right behind him. As it's the end for
Yes,
qualification.
it's the end
So,
of the qualifying. So
but Joe is on his lap as he's going
yes,
for this
Joe.
corner. One of the complicated corners, as you have to go deep and go back down. Like, I assume you don't have to change your gears, but this corner you can probably take flat out, as we see Joe
Yes, you
does
can.
the same thing while he's getting ready to break down to his third gear and taking that right turn. As we see, he's
He
looking for
lost.
that brake mark as he brake now and turns onto the right corner, looking for that outside apex, trying to position his car correctly. While this corner you need to lift right now, I presume, while keep the car steady and not wobble through that apex as going to the last corner. He didn't improve on his second sector. It goes a little bit wide, ruins his lap. I guess
I guess
it
this
won't
is
change the
not.
position anyhow
Yes.
as he crosses the finish line. And that was a 2 minute 3. Oh, actually, he put him in P3. I take that back.
He both.
You can only
He
imagine what
both.
was a clean. That last sector ruined this.
The middle sector. The
Yeah, the
middle
middle
sector was
sector and
close.
the last corner. That was very critical. Could have done better, but respectful. P3
But
for Joe Brown as
that's
John.
pole from Tony
Tony's
in LMP1.
like having a cup of tea right now in his pit box, enjoying his
He
time.
did a
Knows
cracking lap.
he did cry. He knows it. He knows it. We all know it.
In LMP, Jason White did the pole position by 2 seconds. He was flying.
Yeah, he's.
And
I mean,
it's
whole Thomas like is 1.4. So I mean, still a little bit like the first sector is cracked like four, almost 1 second.
yes, everybody from Thomas to Roger, Harper, Giuseppe, and Selvi, they lose everything in the first sector.
That is true.
So
That is true. But
in race, anything can happen. One never knows. They might try to
indeed,
copy his lines. And in the GTE, by surprise, because we said Joe and John, um, Nigel Middleton did the pole position.
well, I
So
guess both of us were wrong.
yes,
He surprised us, got us by surprise as
but
we
he did the
switch.
pole with the Porsche.
Indeed, as we switch to the qualifying, Tony leading, followed by Johnny Gutierrez in their looks like a similar car as they're on the same team.
Yes, sir, they're on the same team.
We move on to the LMP2, where we have Jason White leading, followed by Thomas Holzel on second place, followed by Tanner third, and Giuseppe Gnazzo on the fourth
Giuseppe
place.
Ignazzi, yes.
Andrew Harper on the fifth, followed by, last but not least, Roger Hintz. Beautiful positions by P2. And last is the GT class. We got Nigel Middleton in the first place, followed by John van der Gest in the second position. Strong lap by John in the third place, and Brad Erickson, beautiful P4 positions. And followed by that, we got Didier Coelho in the fifth place in the Aston Martin, followed by Porsche, David, sixth place, the Ferrari 488 and Jen Rhodes. And the last position is Jones. I assume so. Oh, we have more. We have more.
We have Robler.
We have more.
Yes,
We have more. We have more. We have more. So I'm gonna go
let the
back to tell
chance.
you the last where I've
Yes,
left off, where it was Jen Rones, followed by Lewis Middleton and Rob Milliken, followed by Tom Parton, Alberto Alvarez, Oli Battison, and Ed Jones at the last place.
it seems like the Porsche is the fastest on quali because Nigel did the pole with the Porsche.
That is true.
Last time we had the pole position with Joe driving the Porsche.
That is true. That
So
is true, Sam.
now the question is, he can be good managing the tire and don't crashing or losing the back as Joe was doing.
Yeah, I mean, keeping the car in one piece is a favor to
Yeah,
anyone. I mean, staying out of trouble, especially like you see lapped cars and people like sometimes you get stuck in situations where you cannot escape it. So sometimes there's nothing you can do, but everyone here knows that keeping the car uh, damage free is a bigger advantage. It can help you big time anywhere, anytime in the race. So
and one will be
consistency is the key,
critical.
I would say. Consistency is the key in any endurance race. Getting
Yes,
consistent lap times, consistent turns, staying away from trouble. Uh, like giving up on your lap if it means keeping your car intact. Sometimes you can risk it, but why would you in an endurance race? Isn't that right, Sam?
yes. Any extra damage or even getting the damage is not worth because you're gonna lose time. And if you don't take damage, lose time, go wide, mistakes, even if you're 2 seconds slower than the other, you can still win.
Indeed.
Because if the other can do 140 once and then they do mistakes, touches, or they even lose spin, you can still win. It's not the
I
fastest,
mean, we
as you
learned
said.
that with Barrett Ericsson last race. He snatched that P1.
Yes,
That was
yes.
beautiful stuff from Barrett Ericsson.
It was incredible race.
It
And
was incredible.
since anybody can join this league, we recommend you to go to Sim Racing Online and join the league since we have other 3 races to go.
We do
And
indeed.
you will see the most cleanest and respectful racing today. They will not have any contact, or if they will have, they will be very calm and gentle to give back the position.
Yeah, these guys are known for their respect, their sportsmanship. I raced here before. You did, and
We race as ETA, so
many of
we
Ether
can
drivers
we
did
can
race
say
here. Yeah, it was always filled with respect and appreciation. So, I mean, joining and racing with these guys most of the time is beautiful racing, hard racing, and respectful racing, which is the most important thing in racing leagues, especially online ones. And you can
as
join
you
for free.
know,
You don't have to.
anything can happen.
This race is for free, hosted by SimRacingOnline. You can join for free, make an account, and go put some
Join the
laps and
tour.
show the world you're the best, I guess.
Yes, as someone says, I race to win.
You should. If you're not racing to win, at
While you're
least
racing.
at least don't damage your car.
At least keep you safe.
At least stay safe indeed. As the warm-up session is over,
Ending.
it is ending as we see Jen's warming up for that last corner. Just be there waiting for these cars to finish their lap times. I assume it is starting at night. We can see as we see Tony going positioning his car first. There will be a formation lap. After the formation lap, the moment Tony crosses the start finish line, the race starts for LMP1. The same goes for LMP2. First, the leader crosses the start finish line, it means the race is beginning. GTE cars, the same thing. Same as long as the leader crosses the finish line, the race begins.
Uh,
Did
we have
Nigel
also
join the
Lorenzo
track?
with us. He's joining us right now.
Hello, everyone. Hello.
That
This
is
race,
Lorenzo indeed.
it's starting in the night, so it's gonna be late. Come on, I'm already very pumping. I'm jumping for the
Yes,
joy.
this is.
This is gonna be
I did not know it was
incredible.
gonna be a night race. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Me too. I
I
didn't
had
know.
no idea. It,
This changed the plans because in the night is different.
It
They
is
drive
different,
differently.
different
Critical
conditions.
factor will be ambient temperature as well as track temperature, even more critically.
I mean,
This is gonna influence the tire choosing pretty intensely. Yeah, I think you want to go for the softer compound in these conditions. Let's admit it's not going to race, which I think it's not. From what I've seen, what I've seen from the weather forecast, but even on even on dry condition, you need to be careful with the tire changes, especially in the last stint,
I mean, not
because
just
the track
tires.
is gonna have more rubber on it. So
I do agree with you,
Exactly.
Laurie, but not just tires that are playing. I mean, when the track temperature goes down, corners that normally can be taken flat out might not be able for you to take them flat out. So you gotta be careful. But did they know that? Did they practice the night before? We have no information on that, and we can only judge by what you guys see and what we see. So track condition is tricky, as it sounds.
Also,
it
they are
is
all
tricky,
running with softer.
although yes, I think the basically half of the field at least is on soft tires.
Yeah, it's gonna be a bigger problem for cars with high downforce, that is P1 and P2. As GT, it wouldn't hurt much, but it would still play a factor on getting those corner rights, as you rely on a little more mechanical grip than downforce grip or aero grip, if you want to call it that way. As we see Tony Talviti
It's
warming up.
better for the brakes and the engine though to have a cooler condition all around, especially in these heavy braking zones here coming up after the straight. There's a very tight corner right-hander, very heavy braking zone. You want to keep the brakes at the optimal range, so a cooler condition can actually help you in a way.
Indeed, as we see Tony Talviti going slowly, followed by Johnny. He's getting those brakes temperature, riding the brakes, getting them up to temperature.
In
He
the
didn't.
chat, they're asking even warming up the tire will be very
It
critical.
looks like Tony
Yes,
didn't.
Can I expect
I'm surprised they are not weaving that much to put the heat in the tires. Probably they trust they will put the heat in the tires
As
during the first laps as they now go up the hill to
yeah, Tony goes up
quickly start the race.
side by side. We see by Tony about to cross the start finish line. They're pumping right now, getting ready, as we are too. And the race begins, ladies and gentlemen.
I mean,
Tony leads, followed by Johnny Gutierrez, and it's not started yet for P2. We're waiting on them, as we see Jason
They
Whited.
are starting now. They're starting now.
It started. It started.
It's critical now. Thomas House has to try to make a move up the inside.
Looks
It's
like
gonna
it's
be
getting
critical to
busy right
see what
there.
happens in the first corner.
A crash by Thomas.
Just as
Oh
the
my
edge,
god.
there's a collision already. Thomas just gets away with it. There's cars everywhere, so
I mean, I'm surprised they
they need
got
to be
away with it.
careful.
I am actually
Yeah,
surprised.
yeah, cold tires, cold brakes.
As
That's
we see GT cars
I'm
and
actually
John
surprised.
side by side with Joe Brown and go. Oh my God, John! Oh,
Oh,
he
and
loses the
Johnny's
back.
around.
Oh, he
Oh,
drops
mamma mia.
down to P4, almost now to P5. That would cost him
He
dearly.
was
As
lucky though. He was lucky to not spin and get hit by the others. The other drivers had killer reflex and were able to not hit him. That would have been the end already for Van der Gast.
and we have
Incredible
the
stuff in the
race.
watch
first
who
corner.
is
Now
leading.
This is the
Ericsson has
this.
to protect the inside because Joe Brown has had a good exit out of turn 3 up as they come towards
Oh, he
the
got
left
bumped by
hand
Joe
there.
Brown right there.
Yes, they touched. The Aston Martin looks to be the quicker car, guys. Up on the start, Joe Brown doing a great job of putting the pressure already on Barrett Ericsson, but Barrett Ericsson, as we know, is a very calm driver. He was able to withstand the pressure of Brown last time around in Patras. Now we see them coming toward the most tighter corners on the track. These long right-handers almost seems endless when you approach it, and it's critical to really keep the grip. Tortars Barrett has had a good exit out of there, good traction from the BMW, as we see Batterson battling with Alvarez at the back of the grid.
Yeah, that is Battison. I'm
Ferrari
correct.
looking very aggressive already.
I mean, 2/10 behind as they go flat out here, ready to slow down the car down to third gear. but is he gonna speak that insides as he does a little bit, but
It's too far back.
as we have yellow in sector 2.
For one, I think just a wide. Yeah.
As we go back to DDA, getting that split
Here,
stream in
Coelho
the.
all over Joe Brown. Joe needs to be careful in the first corner. As we see Jens Ross, be careful to Jens, guys. He was having a great pace in the warm-up. Now he has to force a move up the inside. Look at the top speed differential there. Ferrari goes up the inside. I think Middleton was able to brake later. And yeah, good racing already. Incredible stuff.
Joe Brown is there, but he cannot keep up with Ericsson at the moment. Let's see what can happen, because if Ericsson have the free space and everything, he can go away like he did in Patras. We know his consistency is very calm. He don't go under pressure and he doesn't make any mistake. Joe last time had big trouble with the Porsche. Let's see. And he changed the car also, so it's a new one for him.
Yes,
His
he was
first
using the
time.
Porsche last time around. Now he's switched to the Aston Martin, which seems to be the all-rounder here in Road America. Helvetia doing the first quickest lap of the race with a 1:43.1. Now Joe Brown looks to be faster in the first sector, although Bart is just able to get a good traction out of this mixed technical part. And Joe really needs to cut the gap, because otherwise he's not going to get the run up the inside on the straight. And he's going to have to worry about Coelho in a few minutes.
Yes. Giuseppe Ignazio.
This is the battle for P3 in
He's
P2
deep
class.
peeking
Now,
down. He's
Ignazio
peeking down.
trying
Looks
to
like he's
go-
gonna get it side by side right now, going to first corner,
Oh,
and he misses
just
it.
Salvi is able
I mean,
to turn in on him.
Look at those glowing brakes.
Glowing red
Indeed.
already. So I told you guys, these cars do have strong brakes, but you need to be careful with the temperature. Look at that. Ignazio having already trouble keeping the Salvi, sorry.
Yeah, but it looks
keeping
like
the
he's
car
been a
on
little
track.
bit wide there, but he's gonna have the
Yes,
split stream.
Ignazio
Is he
has
gonna
it.
put sneak
Ignazio
up his car a little bit?
Yes,
He
Ginetta
is side
move
by
up
side
the
right now. He has
outside.
to late brake here, as they do. Looks like Tanner
Salvi has the advantage. He
throw
has the
the
line up the
car
inside.
as he had the inside advantage, but this is not far from over.
It's so difficult. It's so difficult to get the switchback here, because the track goes up in altitude, and you cannot really get the car to up to speed to try and force a move up the inside in the left-hander. But Ignazio all over Salvi. Salvi making mistakes already. He's feeling the pressure now.
Yes, it
From
looks like
Ignazio, as you
Oli.
see. Oli made the move, right?
He
there.
did made a
He's
move
ahead.
on Alberto.
Looks like he was ahead before the straight finish, so it may have forced the move the lap before.
Yes, as we see Jens trying to put his car on the
Ferrari is speed,
inside.
guys. He's got
He
the line up the
does.
inside. He now surely
Yeah,
will go
but
through.
he wants to play it safe as they go through that corner. Battles. Oh, it goes a little bit wide, touches the grass there, but looks like he might get it on the next couple of corners.
I believe Coelho needs to dispatch Brown as soon as possible, because he looks to have the speed.
He does
I mean,
indeed.
the race is long, but you need to keep Ericsson honest. Otherwise, we know his potential. He has built a gap of 1.2 seconds. He's done that from lap 1. And Middleton now having to weave around to keep Rose behind him. The Ferrari is looking quicker, guys, on the straight.
It does. Expected from Ferrari.
They had a good pace.
Look
last
at Coelho now. Coelho having a run up.
Yeah,
up
looks
Brown,
like
as
he's
I told
sneaking
you.
that car. Oh, they almost touched there, but Joe Brown
Brown
did a good job defending there.
Pointing his Aston Martin.
Yeah, but this is not
right in
over.
the same
He's
lane, but
getting a
Coelho has got a good traction out of the.
Yeah, he gets a
right
good
hander.
exit right there.
Brown is very good there, positioning himself right in the perfect angle to avoid Coelho trying to make a move.
Yeah,
As
but they
go
have
now.
the long straight now as he's gonna tuck down into that split stream.
Brown is in trouble. He has no draft, while Coelho has it. Now Rose trying to make a move on the Porsche. Again.
Yeah, Rose, he is making the move. The
Now
Ferrari
takes
has.
the inside. Middleton is positioning himself pretty well. But I think if Ross nails the braking, he's ahead.
Yeah,
He's
he
gonna
could
be
have
ahead,
stayed a
guys.
little bit behind that split stream, but it looks.
He looks to have Porsche looks to have an advantage on the braking, although the Porsche has to go wide. It wants to use more track than the Ferrari at the moment.
Indeed. Giuseppe is still trying to pass Andrew as
Yeah,
he's only
it's
half
so
a second
difficult.
behind.
This track is very tight, guys. It doesn't look like from this
It's
angle, but
not easy.
if you go on the onboard, you will realize how tight it is. Now Ignazio going ahead. Harper has a problem. Why he was so slow on the straight? What
It might
happened there?
looks like he just misjudged something right there.
Ignazio saying thank you and getting that P3. He has now got 14 seconds to make up. That's quite a long time to make up right now, but race is still long, so plenty of chances. Ignazio looked to be faster though. Look at the gap he's built up on Harper already.
As we show you guys, Tony sitting on a beautiful
Tony
4-second
already,
lead.
the LMP1 guy is already having to lap the GT cars
Yeah,
while they are battling, so critical moments in the race. Coelho rightfully making space for Talvisi to go through. Joe Brown has to do the same.
as he's
And
doing.
I think Brown was lucky there because he didn't get compromised by Talvisi as much as Coelho did. So Coelho fell.
Gucci looks like he picked up almost 5 seconds in one straight, as he's now only 1.9 seconds behind
Almost
Tony.
lost it there as well. He's pushing.
He is pushing behind Tony as the traffic played a big role in getting that gap close, as we see Oli Battison only 2/10 behind Oli, while the fight is going on between these three drivers right there.
Where did the Porsche go? Oli is on a fast lap, guys. He literally gapped the Porsche by some 7 seconds.
Indeed, as Oli looks like he got a good exit as he's stucking himself into
he's-
Rob
that
Millen.
Ferrari is speedy, guys.
I mean,
He's speedy.
he should stay in that, like, you need to tuck yourself behind that split stream and know the right moment to peek that inside,
Tom,
as
look
looks
at the
like
Aston
he's
Martin
going
having
for
a
it.
good run on
Side
the
by
inside of
side
the
right now,
Porsche. So
no.
much difference in the top speed.
Gives up
So
on
much
it
difference.
on turn 1. But that's also good stuff for Oli, as it's slowing both drivers
Yes,
down.
I think Oli is waiting his chance.
Oli will definitely get his chances. These guys need to battle for that 6th position, as Battison is also lurking behind them, waiting for
Milliken
that
is in
right
trouble,
moment.
guys.
As Jan Rose
the Aston
almost got the
Martin-
pass on Lewis Middleton, but he fell again on the same
I
place.
think Milliken is in trouble, guys. Because that Aston Martin looked to be pretty fast.
If you're talking about
Not
Middleton,
sure.
then he's also in a fight. Milliken, I'm sorry I didn't get his name right. But Milliken is right now fighting with Tom Patton, sorry.
No, Tom is still behind him.
They're really fighting hard, but that's very cool to watch. I'm having
Oh, no, that Porsche is not working well, guys. Out of the corners, it's sloppy, it's everywhere.
Yeah, it looks like it's not as stable as...
Oli is losing time as well. I think he should.
Yeah, but he
probably
can take
evaluate.
advantage of this. I mean, anything can happen. A small contact or a little misjudgment from exiting or getting that break point right, as the fight can take your concentration a little bit out, and maybe you won't get those breaking points as you usually do when you're doing your normal laps.
Well, though.
But Oli Battison looks like he's way too close to Tom Parron. He needs to get a good exit right here, as Tom also knows that he also needs a good exit to tuck into that split stream behind the car ahead of him, which is Rob Millen, as Oli Battison positions all the way to the outside to get that good exit, but that's not good enough. But Tom looks like he's side by side now. Almost, I think he's gonna pass him on the straights. Yes, he is ahead right now, but they're still side by side.
Unless Rob can pull a good braking, no, he's ahead. No chance.
Oli Battison is also getting that split stream from Rob Millen.
He needs to overtake Milliken as soon as possible. He's faster than both of these guys.
Beautiful pass by Tom Parton from Rob Millen.
I'll tell you guys, the Aston Martin at the moment is the fastest car on the track, as well as John van der Guest, who has done a 2:05.7. That's a flying lap. And for the unfortunate driver who got almost spun in the first corner of the first lap.
Yeah, but Oli is getting the split stream right here.
Yeah, but Rob
Is
is
he getting the
positioning
inside? He
himself pretty
didn't
well.
defend Rob Millen. Oh, I assume he trusts his braking points is better than Pattison knows that for sure. And they
Oh, and they touch.
spin.
Tom Parton's
Touch.
around.
Oh my God!
And Oli
Oli,
Battison's just taking the opportunity. I told you guys he was waiting his chance. He was hoping that these two would
yeah, looks like Rob
touch each
Millen
other and spin, and that's what happened.
unintentionally touched his bumper, which he waited for him. Good sportsmanship by Rob Millen. Unfortunate stuff that they had to touch, but it was good while it lasted. But the battle between these guys for the 8th position right now is still on.
Now they have to consider pit now or still driving if the damage is not big. Because pitting right now with 1 hour left, it can be very hard to recover then.
It can be very hard indeed, as we see the battle for the 2nd place between Brian Middleton and Coelho.
Coelho.
Coelho, that is. Looks like
Here,
the passing opportunity is mostly the straight lines, as all you have to do, tuck into that split stream, make sure you get a good exit before, and get that inside line as long as the guy doesn't defend, which I haven't seen much defending from the guys. Maybe because it's endurance race, they don't want to hurt the tires in the early stage of the race.
maybe they're just managing the tires like Ericsson. Ericsson is there leading, just
Jackson's on a
managing the tire.
beautiful read right now.
They're driving in 1 second slower than what John is doing at the moment. But John have to recover
Yeah,
70 seconds.
we see the pace of a 2 second 3. That is good stuff from Barrett Ericsson. The car behind him just put a 6 seconds to 2 minutes and 6 seconds, 0.2, which is not, looks similar pace to me. So he's sitting comfortably with a, I wouldn't say comfortably because Joe is literally right ahead of behind him. One small mistake from Barrett could
Barrett
lead to
also made a
demise.
mistake in the slow left hand.
Yes.
Joe Brown is now all over him. Look.
Maybe this time Joe Brown want to do a different race. Stay there, watch what they do, and
Yeah.
take his opportunity.
This
Last time
corner,
he was flying away.
He did, as he knows the straight lines play big role. So he needs to take advantage from every little small mistake
Can
from
be
Barrett Ericsson. But
also fuel
Sam,
saving right now.
yeah, but
can
Sam,
be
we all know.
Middleton off the track.
Yeah,
You
but
need to be careful there because it's so easy to lose it. So
he
sleepy.
wouldn't rub him much time because it's a straight line. He needs to focus on getting the corners right. No spin out, no outbraking himself. Get corners right. All you need to do, because one small mistake will put Joe Brown in that beautiful split stream behind, which give him big chance to pass him, as we see Joe still 1 second behind Joe, which makes him safe for one more lap. As we go back to Jason doing his lap times, last lap
leading.
156, he is leading, he is 7 seconds
7
ahead.
seconds.
Thomas Holazel.
He's increasing lap by lap.
His last lap looks to be a little far, but I assume that's because of traffic. He's also sitting on a 3 seconds ahead of Reset P. So nothing much happening in the P2 class, as Andrew is 15 seconds behind Reset P. Crossing the start-finish line, going to turn 1, followed by Roger Hins. Not too far, I would say 2.6 seconds going down and up. So nothing much action happening in the P2 classes. Everyone looks to be managing their lap times, getting those consistency right.
The sun is coming back, so
if we go to P1, looks like Joni is only 8/10 behind Tony.
Johnny Goody was not there in the race pace, in the quali pace, but in the race pace he's there.
He is, looks like he's chasing Tony right now.
They're actually fighting.
They are fighting.
Oh, he's gonna lose time there, big time. In compression.
Yeah, it drops down. Looks like Guti is taking advantage from the traffic. Much better than Tony is doing.
Now check the amps, please.
was going wide. Johnny Goody is pushing too much. It's
He
just
has to recover from Tony though, and that's why he's
yes,
pushing.
he lost one more second, so it's getting hard. But the race is long. In the quali,
Race is
he
long
lost.
indeed, as we see Joe Brown only 6/10 behind Barrett Erickson. Still getting that, it's like holding that P1 by Barrett Erickson. Good stuff from the man, the winner of the last race in Tatras, Barrett Erickson. As looks like the fight is coming back to life, as DDA is only 6/10 as well behind Lewis Middleton. That crash that happened.
Coelho lost time though. He was in front of Middleton. Something must have happened.
Something indeed must have happened, as Roger Hintz takes that split stream from Oli, trying to fight Andrew a 7/10 behind. Some fights starting to happen in the P2 class, presumably because of the traffic by GT cars as they go down to the left corner going uphill. It looks like Tanner joined the fight right there. 5/10, almost half a second behind Roger, and Roger himself 7/10 behind Andrew Harper. Andrew knows that the fight is going to happen between those two guys, so all he has to do is keep those laps consistent, not worry too much. Defend when you can, but not defend too much. Know where to position your car. Look ahead of the corner. A lot of things going on in the mind of these drivers right now, as they're battling for the 4th place, and only a few seconds separate them.
Very close. Joe Brown at the moment can be fuel saving as much as he can, and even expand.
I mean, Tony is speaking.
He's actually making a move, guys.
He was
he's less
speaking
than a
that.
second behind Ericsson. Joe Brown is less than a second.
Yeah, looks like Joe Brown is.
He has to stay there and keep it.
Get yellow in sector
Keep
3.
him-
Tanner!
Selby's
Oh my.
out. Oh, and
They made
they
contact
touched with Hints.
with
That
Roger
plays
Hintz.
incredibly good into Ignazio's hands, because he's now clear. He's now 27 seconds clear from those guys.
Wow. Looks like the data was telling me that Lewis was making a move.
No, it's not. They lost big
Oh,
time.
look at the Aston Martin now closing up to Ericsson.
Joe is very close.
He is close indeed, dropping down to half a second now. Is he? I think Barrett Erickson is suffering from these tires right now. He's thinking about pitting right now, most likely.
I think he's managing though. I think he's keeping the gap constant on the range of 6/10 or 1.1 second.
He is doing a
Well,
fantastic
I'm wondering
job.
if Joe Brown is pushing, which looks like it because he's going slightly
I
out
mean,
of the
their
track
last lap
sometimes.
is very similar. 2:82,
Yes.
2:82.
Question is, are they pushing or is Joe Brown just waiting?
That we cannot confirm.
I think Joe Brown has a pace disadvantage over Barrett Erickson. Barrett Erickson looks to be the guy in control.
He looks
right
to be the
now.
guy in control.
The BMW has a decent top speed and a decent corner
Joe
speed.
Brown, did he
Oh,
DNF?
yes, he did.
Something
He crashed.
happened to him. Brown.
Yes, that's a
Oh,
connection.
connection crashed.
DQ.
Yes.
DQ.
DQ. Why is that? What happened?
That
Blue
is
flag?
no. For now,
No
Blue flag infringement, maybe.
we have no idea, but looks like Joe was
No idea,
DQ'd from the
but-
race. Not sure if the marshals
That's
can-
weird, though.
This is
Oh,
DQ.
the headlights, guys. He turned off his headlights.
It might have been that. Might have been he forgot to take
Yeah,
them.
no, the headlights. That's very unlucky. That's very unlucky. You do have the message to turn them on.
You do get yes, you do get the message.
Maybe under the fighting he could have missed.
I
it.
think it's due to that he turned off his lights when entering the last sector. Maybe the game gives you like 15.
Looks like
to, 20
Tony
seconds. Oh,
is
and Talbiche.
DNF'd. Tony from the LMP1 is DNF'd.
So Guti is leading.
Drama, guys. Now
Drama
Guti is the
is-
only LMP1 left in the race.
He is the only LMP1 leading right now.
This is actually critical for the championship.
Looks like Patras is repeating itself with one more car leading in LMP1.
Last time was just to cruise around.
Last
Now
time it was
Guti
Tony. It was Tony. He was the only one
Tony
leading.
is Tony.
He was.
Now they have to be very careful. Guti have to be very careful and keep the car on track and just bring
Yeah,
it home.
Guti can now relax,
Let's get another
so to
yellow in
speak.
sector 1.
Yes, last time Tony Talvit won by easily because he was the only one. Now Guti will just do same again thing, but there are things going on. It's is easier than what we had in Patras because the conditions were very difficult.
As we see Tanner picking up on Andrew, looks like the fight between these guys is still not far from over.
Oh,
As
Tony,
Andrew goes a little bit wide there, Tanner sees it, but the part of this circuit doesn't allow you to do much, but just stay
I think
behind.
his best occasion will be on the front straight.
Yes, looks like
Oh,
Tanner
Tony
They
missed.
now go up the hill.
He missed his apex. This is the best chance for Tanner as they
Selby
go
has a
uphill.
chance. Look at that. He's close.
They're gonna cross the finish line. He
He's
needs
gonna
to
make
get the
the move.
job done. As Andrew doesn't do
Harper
any
positioning himself
defending,
in the
that
center
is
of the track.
looks like Andrew
Selby
give
trying
up.
to go up the inside now.
Side by side going right now, and looks like to be the move.
Yeah, Selby has made his thing.
That's
Good
a
job.
move done by Tanner, but looks like Andrew didn't defend.
quick
Andrew
update.
wants a piece of that. Andrew wants a piece of that.
Quick
He will
update.
surely try to.
Tony had an issue with the game. The game froze. And
Let's
he
stick
had
with
to
the
quit.
P2. Let's stick with the P2, guys.
Looks like it's not even far from over.
It's not over. We need to keep an eye on these guys.
Indeed. They're exchanging the positions. I think Andrew knew that, but he
And
could
traffic coming up as well.
I mean, he could have put his car to the right and defend. But
Yeah, he didn't defend. I think there was. There might be no point in defending that because you have a front, the backstretch right after. Although Harper is not out of it yet because traffic is coming up. He just needs to be there. And, oh, Johnny there slowing the P2 car very much down. And we do have news on Tony Talvici condition. He had a freeze in the game, so very unfortunate conditions for Tony Talvici, unfortunately. Yes. Oh, and Harper off the track. Oh, that's so risky
no.
there. John Van der Guest not conceding an inch. He's probably. Oh, and Harper spins and he
Oh
hits
my
the wall.
God.
He surely has damage now. Although he was able to keep the engine running good on Harper there. He
Harper's
was lucky no one was around to hit him behind. Just lost probably some dirt on the tires as well. And yeah, unfortunate situations happens with traffic as we watch Harper go up the hill.
looks like the replay function is still not functioning.
Yes.
Doesn't want to work.
It's now on.
But Harper is now has to do it all over again, as we see Ignazio still fighting with Hölzel right in front of him. That's for P2 in class. These guys are running Lannister and the traffic coming up as well. So guys, this is turning out to be quite chaotic with the GT3 field.
I mean,
well spread out on the
Thomas
track.
sees that they have to outbrake that GT car. It's the yes, and looks like they're gonna both get the job done. As we said, he still have the car.
Not so clear.
Yeah, goes a little bit wide, loses a bit of time there, but he still got that front straight
Yeah, but
line.
that's critical because the front straightaway is coming up. Those meters he lost are gonna give Hölzel a chance to survive another lap for sure, unless he makes a mistake into the braking zone, which I very much doubt is gonna happen. They go up the hill, yes, as you can see, they're 50 meters from each other, so no chance. Now Roos trying to make a move on Coelho. Roos making up places. He was starting way behind in P6, is now up to P4 and fighting for P3 with the guy in P2 right in front
This
of
time
him.
let
So
it
yes,
go.
Roos on a flying lap.
This is the battle for the second place from Jen, Didier, and Lewis. They're only a few tenths behind each other.
I
So
think Middleton has to watch out because the Ferrari and the Aston Martin looks to be.
No,
Oh, and
come
as
on.
we I jinxed it for him, and Jens Roos was able to.
that was
Yeah,
commentator
man.
jinxing right there. Special
Yes.
delivery from Lorenzo to Mr. Jens.
You can ask Lorenzo to charge back after that jinx.
That
Yeah.
jinx was literally a
Sorry, you call
360
that.
to Mr.
I
Jones.
literally called
Rose,
that, and
sorry.
I'm so sorry for Roos because he has done a pretty good first half of the race.
Yeah. He dropped
First
30
half hour
seconds
of the race.
behind. He dropped only 30 seconds, but there's still one more pit to go. Only 1 hour now in the race.
Yeah, but that's gonna be costly because he has damaged as well. He hit
Looks
that
like he
front
picked
end
up
of the
some
Ferrari is
damage
gonna be
there.
damaged.
True, he picked up some damage. Shouldn't be bigger damage, but this opens the battle freely for Mr. Didier against Lewis as they're only less than 1 second behind.
I think Roos has to pit and fix the damage because having front end damage in a track like Road America is gonna cause massive understeer. And you don't want to have understeer in a tight track like this where keeping the car on the track is critical because you do not have any runoff area made of asphalt. It's all grass and gravel. So you need to have a proper car to fully exploit the power of the tires and the mechanical grip as well, which was critical as we were saying at the beginning of the race. Now Middleton, that Porsche looks to be quite wide out of the corners as the Aston Martin is way tighter. He's able to keep a better line both in entry corner and outside
Have
of
yellow
corner.
and
So
sector
Middleton
three.
has to watch out for sure.
As we see the day coming up, it's going very. The darkness has faded away and the light is kicking in, but Lewis looks like he goes a little bit wide here. Maybe he's trying to get that exit right, but it doesn't look like he took much advantage as Lewis
Incredible
is
to see the
fading away in the
Porsche
distance
just
right there.
being able to build the gap out of the long right-hander. Probably the Porsche has a higher downforce setup because look at the way the Aston is catching up on the straight.
I mean, it looks
Now-
like the Mr. Didier is having less downforce than Lewis, which gives him big advantage on the straight lines. But
although
looks
the
like
Aston Martin looks to be the better car under braking as well, because he cut the gap to half basically, and they now go up the hill towards the last corner.
yeah, as they go to the
Lewis
last
is going to have to
corner.
watch his mirrors now into the
This
first
is
braking
good
zone.
opportunity for Didier as he is tucking down. He needs not to leave the split stream. Make sure the car is right behind Lewis as they go uphill, crossing the start-finish line. Looks like he
Oh, he's
didn't
too
take
far back.
much advantage, even though he probably might have run in low downforce than Lewis. Peeking up the inside as they go in turn one. As Lewis goes a
and
little bit wide
Middleton
there,
slightly wide.
but will he take advantage from that?
The
Looks like
run
Didier is.
towards turn 4 is going to be critical. Lewis Middleton weaving to protect the inside. Coelho is not going to have a try there. He's going to push on the
Looks-
straight.
To me, it looks like the moment Lewis goes wide, Didier follows him as if they're projecting each other's driving behavior,
Look
which
at Middleton protecting the inside there. He knows the
He-
Aston Martin is coming one lap or
that
another.
was him trying to break the split stream. It didn't work much as he's catching up on the braking. Looks like the braking is much better
Yeah,
on.
the Aston Martin is
The
working
Aston
better on the
Martin.
brake.
Better than the braking on the Porsche. Or maybe Lewis might have missed his braking points. We do not know for sure.
As Gutierrez comes up to lap him.
Gutierrez doing his.
Also in the pits, he was P5 in LMP2. He's the first guy who pits for probably a scheduled stop.
We are very close to the first pit stop for everybody.
A new best lap was set by Nazo.
Ginetta.
A 152.4.
lap. And he's there, he's recovering to the leader. man.
Yes, he's just 2.5 seconds behind Whitehead now, as Gnazzo has glowing brakes, so he might have gambled on a more aggressive aerodynamic setup. As
Or
we
maybe
see
he was
the-
just fuel conserving and now he's pushing. He can recover.
Or maybe Whitehead was compromised by his lower car in front, because the gap
But
went
like we can
dramatically
say,
down.
but a 152 is the fastest lap on the track right now in the LMP2 class, a 52.4, while Jason did a 53. His best is a 52.8, and last lap was a 53.9. We cannot judge the lap times because we have
yeah, okay.
traffic, as we said overtaking Oli.
Oh, Ginetta was able to dispatch the Ferrari pretty good. He didn't lose any time there.
Did lose some time. He's dropping
Maybe.
to half a second
Oh, and
now.
now, look
No,
at
it's
that.
not.
Whitehead has been
Oh!
compromised and they touch. Jens Roos was probably having none of it. And now Ginetta is all over Whitehead. He was unlucky to get.
Yeah, but he got the split stream right now.
corner.
Is he gonna do anything with it? I will assume to not peek that inside and wait for the next
The best
corner.
opportunity
Jason
is
goes
out
a
of
little bit
turn
wide.
3 all the way to turn 4.
It goes a
That's
little bit
the
wide,
critical
but
part.
I think he got away with it there. But he needs to focus on this upcoming corner as they both go on that
Whitehead
curb
got a
right
better
there.
traction.
Looks like Jason got more traction right there. He should still stick behind Jason. Why is he peeking? No idea why. He picks up that he's trying to break his split stream, trying to tuck
but
behind.
it's no point. It's too far back.
It is too far back, but you should. Oh,
and
Jason
Whitehead
locks his
blocks and
brakes.
goes out wide. And Gnazio says thank you, and that's the lead change in LMP2 for the
That is
first
the
time
lead.
in the race.
That is true.
Gnazio on a heroic drive, recovering from P4, is now up in the lead, and Whitehead is surely not gonna let that go down without a fight. And yeah, this is actually pretty intense. Unlike Patras, where the LMP2 cars were nowhere towards the leader, now we see the top two guys having a pretty good fight. Whitehead just missing his braking point and locking up the front brakes. This
It's
was
like
enough to allow
Jason is
Gnazio
suffering with
ahead.
his brakes and tires at the same time, which costing him locks and a lot of missing the braking points. He's not far from the pace. It's just like the car he's suffering. I would assume he has to pit now and try to overcut.
Whitehead looks to be on the edge. He almost lost it out of the corner there. Gnazio with a more stable car.
Now Gnazio is
Now
flying.
coming up to the last corner.
He's flying right now. He's getting away from Jason.
Oh, and they pit. They both pit. This is critical. They both come into pits
they had.
for tires and fuel. Now Gnazio with an incredible strategy to get in the lead right before the pit stop. This is gonna cost probably Whitehead some track position. Let's see who comes out on top out of the pit lane.
While we wait for them, we see Didier following Lewis Middleton for the second place. They're only half a second behind.
I think following the cars at this distance is gonna hurt Coelho pretty bad. Now Ericsson, he's the guy benefiting from this fight because he's far ahead with clear track. Now 5 seconds away from Middleton. Middleton really doing whatever he can to position himself in the center of the track to avoid Coelho having a look. And the Coelho needs to make something out of this because Ericsson is getting away. Now Coelho trying to really get the maximum traction out of corners. And now getting pretty wide. Middleton just goes out on the grass, and you see a good fight going on. Middleton looks to have the edge out of this long right-hander, as we told you before. The Porsche looks to have the more grip there. Coelho keeping him honest as they come to the back straightaway. Now gap is constantly oscillating between 4.5 and 5.
They're closing up to the pit stop. DDR have to or either stay behind him and manage the tire and do one more lap instead, because since we know after the new update of our factor, the cold tire on first lap, they're really slow. He can do an overcut with more fuel saving and everything.
And yeah, now Middleton faked it.
Oh, he did fake.
If I was Coelho, I would stay one lap more out on the track to try and force the overcut, because I think he has more pace overall. Now Roger Hintz comes out of the track again. He is P4 currently in LMP2. Coelho has to do something though. He has to try a different strategy. Because staying in this distance from Middleton is hurting his tires basically, and as we know, following closely in Road America is pretty difficult. You see Hintz now trying to lap these guys on the straight. He's gonna surely get the job done into the braking zone.
Yes, he
Now
goes.
Coelho having his best chance.
I mean, he
Because
peaked that inside, and Lewis
Middleton locking his
locking his
brakes.
brakes, but
I was able to get early.
Polio peeking
Good
that
stop.
inside cost him a good exit, but it wouldn't matter because this is not a passing opportunity as the Thomas squeezes his car between the two GT cars. But that's gonna looks like it's gonna yeah, Lewis had the P2 car on his side that ruined his exit, but this Collier should take benefit from this as they go into this corner, needs to leave that car into the inside, goes a little bit wide to make sure he get a good exit for the next corner as it's a
Middleton
long, long
on the
straight.
edge there to try and get some speed.
He's
into
gonna
the
have his
exit.
chance.
Yes, Coelho has to force the move.
Now he have to.
Porsche has a good top end as we see that.
Yeah, it looks like
Go.
he's lifting there, maybe because of the split stream caused by Lewis.
Probably, yes. I
But
told you
he
guys.
should-
Following at a close distance here is cause massive understeer.
I mean, presumably, I believe throwing the car into the apex, keeping flat out, should help you out as it is a poor exit right here
Yeah,
as
but
Lewis
you're gonna hurt
fades
the
away.
tires though, because oversteer, understeer means you're sliding. Your front end wants to go.
Yes, but look at the
straight,
he
so you're
catch up
hurting the
so
tires.
much on the braking there, right there. But
Yes.
maybe he was trying to pressure him, but wasn't.
Middleton having a good exit out of the last corner.
Yeah, it was a mistake
Yeah.
also from Colio. He tried to, I don't know, maybe he missed the braking point. Something wrong happened there that caused this, but the fight is still going on. As we see Hintz following Wells.
Yes. Hinz lost the position. Hinz was before Hulsel making up places.
And he's going
We
away.
knew Hulsel was strong on race pace. He unfortunately had a contact at the beginning of the race while fighting for P3 in class with who was it? I think Harper. Yes, Harper.
Yes.
It was Harper.
And now Gnazzo, look at the gap that Gnazzo has on Whitehead.
He has to have
16 seconds.
16 seconds.
In about 4 laps, he was able to gap that LMP2 in second position by almost 3.54 seconds per lap.
As the fight is
Coelho
happening
all
right now
over
between
Middleton
Colio
right
and
there.
Middleton. Colio needs to snatch that position
Yes, he needs to do something.
from Middleton. This is a battle for the second place. They don't need not to play around for now.
Coelho has to make a decision pretty quickly. If he does not have the speed to follow Middleton, he should pit now and do the undercut.
Yes.
But the problem is that if they pit at the same instant in the same lap, nothing's gonna change. So he either waits until Middleton makes his pit stop or he undercuts. That's what I would have done.
Middleton is
Yeah.
very struggling right now.
He is struggling,
Middleton
but
is slower. The Coelho has a much more top
yeah,
end
he's being
and
held
also
up by
more
Lewis
track
right now.
position.
He is being held up. He needs to as famous word by Laurie, to dispatch this guy as soon as possible.
Yes.
As we go down, it looks like the race isn't going very well for
On the inside.
John, as
Coelho
he
having a
peeks
look.
that inside, it wasn't paying attention, but this is good position for Collier for the next.
Oh, and Middleton goes into the pits.
Good smart
Coelho
move.
stayed out. Coelho stayed out.
Smart
So
move
this
by.
lap is gonna be a very, very
Yes.
important.
This should be good for Collier
Coelho
as
stayed
he's.
out. This is critical, guys. Coelho stayed out. Now let's keep an eye on Coelho, because when he pits, Middleton will be in third place probably, or fourth, depending on whose pace.
That was the
Now,
best
if
thing.
Coelho has to push at maximum now. This is the critical lap.
It was the best thing done by Middleton as he had to pit because Collier was pressuring him. He was losing tires. He had to pit, but he held up Collier for a long time right there, which
Yes.
might have cost him.
Actually plays in the hands of Ericsson, which is now more than 7 seconds clear.
Indeed, as we see Johns goes a little bit off track.
And Roos fighting with Bateson for third position right there. Oli made quite a few overtakes.
Indeed, 6/10 behind, but looks like the race didn't go well for John van der Gist from that first spin.
He's
Probably
recovering.
has damage.
He's
Yeah.
recovering. He's recovering. He had a
He's
gap
recovering.
of 70 seconds, and he's down to 24 seconds. So
Yeah, he's
at the moment, he's the third fastest guy on track. So he can make
Yeah.
his position to P4.
and
He
Mr.
was
David
like this.
Capruzzi, the last driver in the GT class, with 78 seconds behind John van der Gist. At least he's participating, so nothing to worry about. As we see John, 23 seconds behind Lewis Middleton, dropping down to 20 seconds.
Don't forget that John pitted in the second lap, so he's
He
yet to make
did,
another pit
so
stop.
he will be a threat in the last stages of the race.
Yeah, he's very well out of contention, unless something incredible happens in front. Because he's yet to make a pit stop again. He has to pit again. While the others, I think they can carry to the end if they save a bit of fuel. Johnny Gutierrez there out of the pit.
Yeah, we see Johnny
He's
exit
only
in the pit
stop, probably, because we are halfway into the race.
as he goes into the first corner right there. Calm race from Johnny, no fight with anyone. Just the fortunate stuff for Tony. He DNF'd because
Let's keep an eye on Coelho, because I suppose he's gonna stay out one more lap and then pit. Yes, he stayed out again.
he did stay out.
So he will do a couple laps. I think he's gonna pit this lap.
I mean, his pace isn't not far from the guy ahead of him, which is Barrett Erickson, 278, and 273 by Mr. Barrett. So he's not far from the pace that what everyone is doing right now. So if I was him, I would keep the car out as long as he has enough fuel to keep doing those laps. He's only 7 seconds behind Barrett Erickson, and Barrett is yet to pit.
And he's also catching up.
No, he's not. He's actually losing time. Barrett Erickson is on a flyer lap. He made up almost 8 tenths of a second in the last 2 laps. Coelho, I think Coelho has to focus on Middleton, because he was the guy battling him, and he needs to make sure that Gnazzo behind him does not compromise any of his pace. Otherwise, it's game over. And we'll see. This is by far the most interesting battle on the track: Coelho versus Middleton. Middleton has pitted.
As we see Harper climbing up.
Yes. Let's see if Coelho pits this time. I think he is forced to, because he's losing time now. He has to pit this lap.
In worst cases, he still can put one more lap. We don't know how much fuel he's carrying, but pitting would work on his favor right now.
Let's see what he does. He's coming up to the last section now, coming up the hill to the right-hander. That puts you on the pit lane. Let's see what his decision will be.
If he is close
It
to
doesn't look
Lewis
like
Middleton,
he is pitting any
No, he's staying
time
out.
soon.
He's staying out.
He is staying out.
I think that's the wrong choice, though. He's losing time now.
You can't judge for sure as you're not driving. Maybe something is happening that we not sure about, but looks like Didier is confident enough that he can keep the car outside while keeping up the pace with the leaders, which is Barrett Erickson. He's only in second place. His last lap, he's kind of slower as Barrett Erickson puts in 2 minutes seconds.
He can make up the secondary he's losing right now. He can make up them right in the last part of the race, because we saw the Porsche struggling. So if he can have a fresher tire in the end, he's gonna catch up easily on Middleton.
Yeah, but he's now Rossi the pace as well. The Ferrari in 4th place, GT class. I think Coelho should have pitted the last lap, because he's now losing from 3 to 5 tenths of a second to Barrett Erickson. And I suppose Middleton on fresher tires is on the same lap as Ericsson is, so I think Coelho should have pitted 1 lap earlier, but we'll judge as the race goes on.
See Lewis Middleton only second behind Rob Milliken.
Middleton did the fastest middle sector, 43.
Yes, I told you guys.
He's flying right now, and
also he has the draft of Milliken. Milliken is
yeah,
not
gets that
on
draft.
the same pace.
Is he gonna sneak into that inside? No defense
Milliken
from
has blue
Rob.
flags, so he has to let Middleton
Oh,
through.
I
that's
still
for
don't
position.
understand why people are not defending. As Lewis
no,
goes to the
that's-
Oh
inside,
no, that's pole position. You're right,
Position.
guys. Sorry about that.
and
position.
Lewis gets the job done right there as they go into turn 1, coming up into
Yeah,
turn 2.
Milliken has no point in fighting Middleton. He's not racing against him.
But he could have at least defended it. He could have given him a hard time, but they were fighting for a position. That is, I have no idea why people are not defending. But
Bruce getting out of the pits
Cannot
just as we
judge.
speak.
I can only tell you what I'm seeing.
Oh, and I think Coelho pitted. I think Coelho is in the pits.
I'm not sure of that
Not sure, not yet. He's driving. He's still driving. Right now, he's going to the
Yeah, he's
pit.
in the pits. I told you guys, he was getting to the pits.
Yeah, Coelho is in the pit right now.
I think he's one lap late.
In his 22 lap. His best
He's
lap.
gonna be faster. There's barely
I mean,
40
his
minutes
best
left.
lap is a 2-minute 5, which is the second fastest lap on the track. So him
Yes,
not
but
pitting.
Middleton just improved on his best lap, and that was the fastest lap of the race as well. Let's keep an eye on Middleton and see where he comes up.
He's in the right-hander for the straight, so DDR should be like 5 seconds behind him, and then he can.
Oh, and Middleton made a mistake and he spun. He hits the wall. He has damage for
That's a
sure.
little bit of
Now he needs to be
damage.
careful because Millikan
very
is
brave.
coming up. So Coelho made the right decision in the end.
He was
because
pushing
Middleton
too
is surely
hard.
not gonna be up to date now, and he has damage as well.
Unfortunate stuff from Lewis. He
Incredible
was
stuff.
trying to push hard to close the gap from Coelho, but unfortunate stuff
Look
as
at
he
that, the
picked up
Porsche
some
is lifting.
damage
Yeah,
from
he
the
has
walls right there as he goes up. Maybe it will put him in a little bit of a problem right here as he goes into the last corner. It will probably, I don't know if he hurt his arrow.
Coelho
It
is still
looks
in the
like
pits. Coelho is still in the pits though.
Coelho is still in the pits. He will be passed right here. I don't know what was the battle.
Coelho coming out. Coelho is coming out, man.
Ah, he's already out.
Yeah, he got out. So Coelho
Still
gaining
leading right
massively
now.
on Middleton, because Middleton need that is gonna cost him the position for sure, because he now has damage. He cannot afford to push
I mean,
harder and make another mistake.
we can talk about John and Lewis looks.
And
Tell
now
me that
it's
he was
just
passing, but I want to talk about John that he shoved up almost 30 seconds, dropping down to 10 seconds behind Lewis Middleton right now. Not sure if he
Yes,
pitted
but
here,
he has to make another pit stop though
so
before the
he's
end
yet
of the
to
race.
pit. But beautiful stuff from John as that
Ericsson
first
in the pits. Ericsson in the pits. The leader.
that
in
first
GT
mistake
class.
by John cost him dearly. As we see Barrett Ericsson going to the pit right now. Oldie will be passing him as he was only 3 seconds behind, but Oldie is also yet to pit, so Barrett knows that, has to get this pit perfectly done, executed.
Actually, the fight between Coelho and Middleton played in the hands of Oli Battison, because Battison is extending more than anybody else, and he may just come out behind Coelho and able to fight for a podium in GT class.
anything can happen in the last 38 minutes.
So we see Andrew behind Roger Hintz.
Yeah, that's for P4 in LMP2 class. Now Harper all over Hinz, and he now gets a good run with draft on the front straightaway.
Yeah, they have
It's
traffic.
so important to have the draft up the hill because the car struggles to keep the speed up.
As
but
a
I don't
new
think it's gonna
best
have
lap
round
is
at the
set by
inside.
Roos, and it looks like couldn't get the job done because the traffic, as Roger still keeps the lead ahead of Andrew.
After this corner is the best chance. Let's see. Down the hill on the straight.
He goes a little bit wide there, touches the grass, collects a little bit of draft dust to the tires, something you do not need to do.
Roos in the wrong place at the wrong time because these guys are battling, and Roos is gonna surely keep in front of Harper. Harper compromised big time there. Yeah, look at that. The Ferrari is still in front. It's not gonna make way for Harper to pass by either. So yeah, Hinz gaining from this situation and probably putting pressure on Harper to make a move, which may be costly, as we saw. It's so easy to make mistakes, guys.
This race is turning out to be so mixed up, filled with
Yes, very intense.
action,
Very intense.
drama.
Rob Milken.
Now Millikan is entitled to take the place from Middleton. They are now effectively racing each other for position because Middleton has been losing the time due to the damage he sustained in that spin on the back stretch. So surely now Milliken is going to put pressure on them as well. Middleton has a good exit there. He has done that all the race. He's been the best in this sector. He's able to build a nice safe gap. He's on the limit though. Look, he always puts his tire on the dirt and he's able to get away with it somehow.
As Andrew almost made a move on Roger Hintz, but looks like he made a mistake that dropped him a 1 second behind as he goes up again into last. It's going down and up for some reason, and we get mixed up data feed.
And Giuseppe Gnazzo is losing time behind the Porsche, and Jason is making back his second lead. He lost. Now he's just 5 seconds behind, and he's gaining 1 second per lap. So for Ignazio, he's not ended yet, so he needs to keep pushing.
Results so
Since
far.
Jason is too fast. Ooh, what a
Whited
control.
on the limit there, just
Yes.
keeping the car in shape for the left-hander.
The results so far is Johnny leading in the P1 class on his own, no other car driving. Giuseppe right now is the leader of the LMP2, followed by Jason. Tanner.
Yeah, Whitehead
Roger.
is gaining, guys. Whitehead has made up 3/10 in the last lap, and Whitehead needs to overtake the Porsche before the straight to get a good exit. As I said before, there's a quick right-hander before the backstretch, which is so difficult to do flat out if you're following another car. Whitehead just coming back to the line he was doing normally, and the P2 car with the amazing downforce that these cars are able to produce, just going flat out there. So amazing piece of driving there by Whitehead.
As we see Andrew dropping down to 6/10 behind Roger Hintz, battling for that P5. As pits a little bit of traffic there, should have helped him up with a little bit of a split stream, but
Batterson
he's
in the
too
pits.
far
Batterson in the
from
pits is now
Roger Hintz right
overtaken
now.
by Coelho.
Yes, he was.
Let's see where Batterson comes out. He's been overtaken by Parton as well. So it didn't work out as good as I predicted for Patterson, as he now falls back all the way to P5. Although it's a good recovery nonetheless from the driver of the Ferrari number 71. And Coelho keeping Ericsson honest at 8 seconds away. So Coelho really consistently putting the laps in, and the front brakes of that Aston Martin starting to glow red as well. We have seen the Aston Martin having a good braking power. All the races, that was the main point in him fighting Middleton in the first 45 minutes.
But it seems like the BMW
It's untouchable, looks untouchable.
and since they are gonna add also the new BMW, I think it's gonna even be more fast. Let's see. He's driving consistently on 2.2 minutes and 6 seconds. He's not the fastest out there, but he's the most consistent, and that's it's very very important.
Yeah, that has been the
Key for him.
factor for Ericsson all season. Is really being able to not be the fastest on road pace, probably sacrifice some race pace to put some consistent laps in and having a stable car. And also, I think the key to these results he's having are basically not sustaining damage. While John Vardeguest has been faster on road pace, but he's always found himself fighting in unwanted situation like he did in the beginning of the race when he spun at the first corner. And so yeah, Ericsson really showing how it's done at the moment.
And if he doesn't do any mistakes, he can easily claim this one, I believe. At least we have 30 minutes left to go, so anything can happen. Any small mistake, as we saw Middleton before, Joe, the other guy, so we have to be very, very careful and keep the car on track. But Didier is pushing. He is gaining tenths by tenths. He might be able to gain on him on the last sector in the last part of the race. Who knows? He goes wide a little bit here. Let's
No,
see.
that's his
Let's see.
line. He has done that all the race. Now it goes uphill with the left-hander. I think Barrett is safe at the moment. He's gaining still, and also he has pitted later than Coelho, so he was able to probably save fuel. And
Even
as
more.
we see now, Roos harassing the Aston Martin for P3 in class. Roos really making a good job today. In
But
the
as we
Ferrari is now gaining on Parton under braking. That Ferrari looking very nice under braking there, very stable. As they now go around the long right-hander that brings them all the way to the back straightaway. Roos has to keep the car on the road there. He's able to do a tight line. Look at that Ferrari. Now, the Aston Martin, as we know, is very strong. But let's see what Roos can do today.
can say, last race, the Porsche was the fastest.
Yes.
This time, the Aston Martin is very, very good in braking. But
Oh, look at that Ferrari though. He's able to close up the gap. Now, surely his best chance will come at the front straight as they
sure,
now go up the hill in the last section of the racetrack.
is more tight.
Now, yes, right-hander coming up. Barton protecting the inside line. As now the Ferrari closes up to him all the way, and looks like Barton wants. Wow, he went into the pit lane. So
The speeding
okay, that's an interesting one. He
is
pits
also
with 30 minutes left, so Rouge having clear track now, both ahead and behind. In P3, good job from the driver. Now Gutierrez coming up to a lapping.
you can say the Ferrari overall is the fastest car with the
I think
BMW.
the Aston Martin is working better, although Jens did not sustain any damage at all today. He fixed probably the front end damage from the earlier spin, and his Ferrari is looking very nice indeed.
But in Patras, the Aston Martin was not there, so
Yeah, the Aston Martin was not. I mean, there was one Aston
one
Martin that was Coelho. Coelho was there with the Aston Martin, and he was battling Ericsson at some stage, but fell off at the end. So
yes. So we can say this overall the Ferrari and the BMW are fastest in any track since we raced in
yeah,
this championship.
the most balanced car.
Yes, the
The
Porsche
Aston Martin
today
is probably the better car on the braking. The Porsche has more top end than anybody else,
has
and he's
Lewis
very good out of the long corners as well.
Hamilton, and he's doing a 2 minutes and 7 seconds. He cannot match the first guy. He's just keeping the
Yeah,
car.
Milton is just keeping the car on the track. He has a safe gap on Milken behind.
Yes, with 13 seconds.
So yes, probably just focusing on keeping it on the track and
Because
maximizing the points.
Oli Batista, he's going fast. He's the fastest guy at the moment. This Ferrari is flying. The Amato 7271.
Oh, Roos is just in front of him. So yeah, Batterson really making up time. As we see now, this is the battle for P3 actually, because Batterson is gaining big time on Jens Roos in front. You can see the other Ferrari. You can smell the exhaust fumes of
And he
the twin car. So let's see what comes out
he
from
can
this
push
battle.
some on the fuel because he pitted later than Rose, so he can even be more aggressive on the mixture and burn more fuel to be fast in the straight and recover. Anything can happen.
Now he's gaining. Look at that. The gap is coming down.
The P2 is 12 seconds ahead of him, so and even if he wants to go to the P1, are just 20 seconds. A small mistake can just recreate every scenario that we have right now. So they're all fighting for the win. And as we speak, Gaza has making his
Yeah,
way
I
back.
guess who's back? Whitehead now 1.5 seconds from Gnazzo. Gnazzo probably on a more conservative pace.
We saw his gap going to 5 seconds and then going back, so he might be saving or
Yes, probably
struggling.
saving fuel or keeping an ace up his sleeve for the last lap.
We are getting in the 25 minutes left, so now it's up to the boys to push until the end. And there is nothing left. Almost more mistake.
Oh, Ignazio is slightly wide. This is gonna go. He's gonna get Whitehead a good opportunity to close up.
He might be showing him in the inside, but he will not be making the move right now. Who was more control?
We see Whitehead is so much faster at this stage.
Giuseppe is struggling with the car on the entry because, as you can see, we have so much boost here. He's going
Yeah,
wide.
Whitehead needs to be careful because following the cars at this distance really hurts their front as well. So it's really pretty much leveled, I'd say.
This right hander will be very critical. Ignazio is struggling very much.
Yes, Whitehead being able to keep the car on a tighter line, although yes, he will have to lift into the fast right-hander there. Yes, look at that, he goes slightly wide. Now Ignazio has to position himself pretty good for the next right-hander. Whitehead too far back at the moment to really try to force a move out the inside.
He's there, he's pressuring him.
Yes.
Giuseppe can make the mistake like Jason did before with him. We saw Jason making the mistake in the beginning, which when Giuseppe recovered on him. Now can be the same thing again.
Ignazio had a good exit though out of the last corner, so he's gonna survive another lap. Now Coelho is almost 10 seconds from Ericsson and pretty much clear of everybody else.
Jason is still there.
Less than a second, guys, less than a second. Whitehead can try now, he's close.
He can go for the inside. Let's see.
Or maybe not.
He's gonna
Just
wait.
applying the pressure, waiting for Ignazio to make a mistake. Now traffic coming up in front of them. That's a lapped LMP2 car.
For sure he's faster now in this stage.
That's Harper, P5 in class in front of them. Whitehead struggling to keep the Oreca on the track because the understeer. And we're on the limit right there, so it's really all to play for, I think.
Also, Jan Rose and they're fighting very close.
Batterson is now all over Jens, yes.
He recovered the 2-second gap.
Oli is faster, look at that. He now will get the best round possible out of this corner now. Rose just controlling the oversteer. Although he's able to get a good traction out of turn 3, now Oli has to probably has to wait for the next chance.
Because if he's really fast, he can recover on Coelho.
Look at that, now Oli having a look at the inside to put pressure on Jens. But Jens is pretty fast as well, so no need to panic, I'd say.
The two Ferrari are very fast in the straight, so he needs to
pretty much equal.
Yes, he needs to find the move somewhere different than straight or turn 1, because if John Rose doesn't make any mistake, he's not gonna lose the position. Wait a bit. Okay. He's gonna recover here.
No, yeah, he did a good apex right there. He's able to hold the line and get a good traction. Jens really working well. And yeah, look at that. Oli Patterson is able to keep the car flat out on the right-hander, which is so hard to do, especially when you're following at this distance. Now, I think Oli is waiting for his chance. He has 20 minutes to do that. And, he probably will have an advantage on tires at the end of the race. So.
For sure, he can push even more on the engine and burn more fuel. So and having fresh tires, everything is on his side. Ignazio, if it a bit
Now Nyasa having to defend right there because Whitehead is really close this time.
he's got no, he's not going for his side.
Oh, and
Ignazio,
Nyasa losing it! And he's able to keep the car off the wall right there. Good piece of control by Nyasa. That was so dangerous, so risky because the wall is just a couple meters out of on the outside of that right-hander. So Whitehead just saying thank you, and Nyasa again out of the track.
now Whitehead I think is gonna push 100% and go away. Yeah,
Whitehead able to build already a gap of 1.4 seconds
it's
from
flying.
Gnazzo. Gnazzo being compromised by Middleton there in this lower Porsche. Gutierrez showing good patience to lap the cars, and why wouldn't he be patient when he is the only LMP1 car on the track?
Guti is leading without any pressure,
Yes, no pressure at all.
like Tony did in Patras.
Yes, pretty much the same
The
situation.
two teammates are enjoying.
Good stuff from Whitehead. He's able to. Oh, Gnazzo must have made a mistake though because he's losing so much time. Gap is now up to 2.5 seconds.
I think he's struggling with the tires at the moment. So since the gap with
On Selby in
Selby
P3 has beaten the gap.
is 80, yeah, he's pitting right now. I think Giuseppe might be pitting also before the end of the race. He's making the move.
Oh, Jens coming up to
He made the move.
retake that P3 in class. Both of these
Only
guys were on the back foot in Patras. Jens had a bad fuel strategy, but he's able to now stay with Bettison, looks like. Ferrari working pretty good at Road America, as we know. Now Rus is probably too far back to try and force a move, but Bettison covers the inside wisely. Oh, and he
look out.
locks up the brakes a little bit. Let's see if he can keep. Yeah, he can keep Jens behind, but he needs to be careful because those mistakes can really cost you.
Oli have better tires, so he's gonna push and get away if he doesn't make any mistake. Giuseppe Ignazio is pitting, so
Yeah, now we need to keep an eye on Whitehead because Whitehead has to push hard to reinforce the gap. Now, Roos having a completely different line than Bandison in that long tight corner, and now we'll have to be careful in the fast corner there. He's able to keep the car in a pretty good position without losing too much time, while Bandison is slightly with the tires on the grass there, as we see Gutierrez lapping them again.
Gutierrez is just making the way.
Yeah, Gutierrez is having a stroll about America right now.
But actually, after making the move, Oli doesn't have the pace to go away.
Yes, the draft is so important there, guys. And now Jens really taking all the draft he can from that Ferrari in front, but the top speed is almost identical, so it's going to be hard for him to really make a move on the inside. Bettison positioning himself in that center of the track, now protecting the inside. Jens goes up side by side, and he tries to force a move on the outside. Good stuff by Jens, who takes the third position.
I don't know
Goes
if that's
slightly wide, but that's going to be legal. But Jens with a good move. Although now Oli has the line up inside, is so close. They're now side by side again. Jens on the inside.
The next
of the
turn,
next left-hander. Batterson has to force a late break, otherwise it's not gonna make the move stick. And he
breaks
does.
late.
Batterson around the outside, good piece of driving, but he goes wide. And Rose was not able to exploit that, although, okay, he backs off now. Good piece of driving by the two drivers.
We can say both went wide when both got the position back, so
Yes, I think it's all so good.
it's good. That was very, very brave. Both of them did the move on the outside.
Yeah,
Very dangerous and very risky, but
very risky, especially at this stage.
contact. So that's very, very good from them. And at least they respected each other on track. That's way more important. And on this, Barrett Erickson is leading without any issue. He's
Yes.
increasing his gap by tenths each lap on Coelho. So
When the
he's
LMP2 car really made Batterson jump from his seat as he almost lost it there, and the Ferrari gained the position back. As we know, the LMP2 is entitled to pass them, but Batterson using the P2 car as his advantage to cover himself up from Jens Roos at this stage. Good driving, good timing also from Batterson. And a good piece of driving for keeping that car in perfect control and not panicking when he saw the LMP2 car just losing
Jumping
control there.
was very, very important for him because if he got the damage there or even a small contact, his race would have been very damaged and ruined in 15 minutes to go. So, but
And it's now a sprint race to the finish, guys.
now
No.
it's full push.
Roos has fallen a little bit back, almost 1 second gap.
It's not
This is
falling away.
actually the only battle going on track at the moment.
Since John is here managing the tire, his strategy was ruined.
Oh, and you jinxed that for him also. Really
I don't
not
think
making himself see from John. John made the corner and he had the line. Really also should have backed off. In
with
my point of
LMP.
view. Yes, now John has more damage on the rear end of that Ferrari, so and he's not gonna give up any inch to the LMP2 car. That's weird.
As the fry doesn't have damage, right? One more doesn't make
This is the
change.
day of damage on the Ferraris, guys. It looks like as we see Gutierrez now. Look at the speed differential on that car.
Yes, speed race there. Oh, Kuti is okay. Okay, is going. I thought he had an issue.
Yes, it looked like Guti backed off a little bit, but then retook the place. Probably was watching what John was doing because John didn't give anything to Milliken there.
Coil is gonna copy Rob
Yes, Coelho making good progress.
easily.
Yes, he's keeping that gap from Ericsson pretty much constant between 8.9 and 10 seconds. So Ericsson really in control.
Actually,
It's
the
like
base.
Jens Roos is fighting with Oli Patterson, but it drops down to
Yes.
2 seconds again.
Yes, it was very close a few laps ago, and
Oli made the move.
they almost had a contact, but it turned out to be pretty good for Patterson, who was able to retake the place with a cracking move around the outside. Now Ericsson, as I was saying, looks to be the one in control. It's now 9.5, 10 seconds. The gaps are pretty much constant every lap. Almost 10 seconds clear from Coelho, which is the quickest car apart from the BMW. No, Jens is not gonna give up on the P3. This is for P3 in class.
Today the two Ferrari are giving best show ever.
We look at that same car, different drivers, but none of them is ready to give up on this one. As they go into the left turn, get the same turn pretty much. Look at this tricky double apex corner most of it. as you have to go
Late
wide
Apex, yeah.
and late apex down and get that gear up to 5th. Looks like Oli did a better job than Jen Rose, but he's still
Yeah,
got
it's
the
so difficult
advantage
to
of the
follow the
split
cars.
stream following behind him.
Some understeer kicking in from Jan's car there, and probably the best chance he has is on the front straight. As he did before, he has to force a move on the Ferrari on the first turn or on the run between turn 3 and turn 4. Those are the two places where you can really try a move. Now Battison really out of shape in the last corner. Jens was able to close a bit. Not enough though, because the Ferrari, as we know, have identical top ends.
And to me, it looks like John Van Der Geest did a good job coming up. He's only 4 seconds behind Tom Parton. Good stuff from John, as
He
he
recovered.
recovered
Yes.
really well after that terrible spin-off or crash. Can't remember exactly
Lap
what
one.
happened, but he was
Yes, he almost lost it
Lap
in turn
one.
1 and got it from a car behind.
that race could have been over right there, but luckily it didn't. Fortunately, it didn't. Solid pace from John Van Der Geest so far as we almost crossed the 10-minute mark. Left for this race to be wrapped up, as Barrett Ericsson is still leading this GT pack with a 9 seconds ahead of Didier Coelho
Oh, and
himself.
Jens knocks out the race and goes wide.
Looks like Jinso mistaken his braking point right there.
Probably on the limit, probably braking as late as possible. We may misjudge it a little bit.
Looking at what he's doing right now, the best he can do. A mistake like this happens. You shouldn't bash yourself about it. Get your head down, focus on the race, get the lap together. You still have 9 minutes. You can see the opponent next to you. If you made a mistake, it's most likely he might too. And the fight is still on. You should not put yourself out of the battle yet. Race is not over.
Although this is gonna give Bateson a good kind of breathing space for at least 2 laps, because it's easy to get the gap down to half a second or 0.8 of a second, but then it gets very difficult to keep the speed you're following, especially in those fast corners. And Roos needs to exploit any situation with the LMP2 cars or slower GT cars in front, because that's gonna give him the best chance probably at this stage. He is too far back now to try and beat Peterson on low pace. The speed differential between the Ferrari is so small. Yes, as we see Whiter just coming up. Yes. Yes, should have been closer now. You could have exploited the LMP2 car there.
And
because he's surely trying to make a move on the Ferrari in front. So.
And we all know that closing up isn't as easy as passing. So all that time you gain when you close, you still have to keep in mind that you still have a couple more laps to make that move, unless the guy ahead of you does a mistake or goes wide on some corners where you don't expect him to be. So you should be ready, and like I say, keep consistency even when you're close. You can rely on his mistake, you can rely on any minimal mistakes if you can keep your consistency, which will also put the pressure on the guy ahead of you, thinking that you have a better solid place. I mean, he will start thinking that your consistency is better than him. That's what will play within your mind. I mean, unless he's a professional real driver, which they don't go through as much, as he goes a little bit wide right there as we speak about consistency. And that's what I mean when I'm talking about Jens needs to keep his consistency. No more risking, no more trying to outbrake himself to get those slight half a second, or I don't know how much it would be. It could cost you much than give you little. So be careful with that, I would say, if I were Jens. But beautiful stuff from Oli as well, as he didn't lose much, only 1.4 seconds ahead of Jens right now. And the order so far is Johnny leading on his LMP1 class on his own, followed by Jason in LMP2 class in the lead with 28 seconds ahead. And Tanner chasing him with 49 seconds. Doesn't look like he will have any chance anytime soon to get past unless Giuseppe makes some spin or crash or let's not foreshadow
No,
for
no,
Mr.
don't you.
Giuseppe.
Please.
And Roger Hens is now on his P5, followed by Andrew P6 and Thomas on P7. Going up down to GT class, we have Barrett Erickson on the lead. Beautiful laps by Barrett, beautiful stuff. Expected from a driver like Mr. Barrett, followed by Collio, who's been putting a great show today with his fights and
Yeah, cracking first
strategy.
stint as well.
Indeed, by Mr.
Aston Martin
Collio,
was very sharp and
followed by
very
Mr.
straight.
Oli. Sorry to cut you off, Sam. Followed by Mr. Oli in P3. 12 seconds behind Collio, not so far. He could take advantage from any mistake done by Collio. I mean, I would say couple mistakes could put him right behind him, but looks like he doesn't have much time. Followed by Mr. Jens, Mr. Lewis, and Tom. John only 2 seconds behind Tom. Heroic move by Mr. John after that horrific spin that happened in John while he was in the front lead with the pack, but he managed to close the gap from almost, if I saw it was 30 seconds down to 2 seconds right now behind Tom. Beautiful, fantastic job by John, the man himself.
Yeah, by pitting earlier than everybody else, he had clear track. He was also lucky that he didn't get any P1 or P2 cars in front of him battling or something.
He played smart. As we go to the last but not least, the car Rob Milliken. He's 28 seconds behind Mr. John, as is not the last car. The last car is Mr. David Capruzzi, 47 seconds behind Mr. Rob, doing his lap, minding his own business, having his fun. It's okay to be last sometimes. One day you win, one day you lose, as long as you have fun. And that's what Mr. David is doing right here, right now. And those were the positions for what's going on right now in 40 minutes to go to the checker flag. To you, Lauren.
Jens is getting back. He recovered 4 times, so Oli is not over. He lost here because of the LMP, but Oli is getting a little bit lucky, I would say, with the LMPs. He didn't lose time here again. But Jan Rose is very fast in the last sector and in the middle sector. Let's see what Oli can do to prevent a comeback. He's 1.3 seconds. His lines are better than Oli.
I mean, he's gaining on him, dropping down to almost a second right now. He needs, like I said, he needs to stay away from your own mistakes. Do your laps. Push hard, but not too hard. Don't like, the problem when you see drivers doing is testing. Don't test when you're in consistency. Do the best lap you can without testing. You should know for a fact that that works.
I don't think it's about consistency when you have 2 minutes and 50 seconds left. It's about
you should. You're 1.7 seconds. A small mistake. What I mean, a small mistake could lead to Oli, which we would not wish for him. Could lead to a spin, going off track, which means you should stay behind. Don't drop back. Don't throw it all out. Keep your laps in. Keep those laps checked in, and any moment comes, you could take big advantage of it. And if you thought it didn't happen, at least you were there in the position to grab it. So consistency isn't about slowing down, it's about putting the best lap you can each lap without making no mistakes, because you know exactly where to brake, know exactly where to pick up that throttle, what gear you need. As we see him going through corner 1, getting that executed beautifully, dropping down to 1.7 seconds, as Oli is still leading right now.
I reckon Oli at the moment is in control, because Rose was losing the back end.
It looks like Rose is suffering from the back end. Maybe his rear tires, Lorenzo, are fading out.
Yeah, Jens pitted earlier than Oli as well, so Oli probably has some life left in those tires, while Jens probably did not keep them as
Yeah,
cool as
we see him go
possible.
wide there. That is not what you want to see with only 1 minute left. Fortunate stuff happening to
Yes,
Jens.
he's now losing. He's now losing time. Look at that. Oli
Big time. I mean,
Oli
the
has picked out the pace.
only chance he got here is Oli having a crash, which we do not
Struggle.
wish. Once again, we're not foreshadowing, but we're just
60
saying
seconds left, guys.
crossing the 1 minute mark, as Lorenzo says right now.
Buddhism, love, love.
Keep minding his business in his lap. It's unfortunate that we still can't see a battle in the LMP1, as last time the same thing happened with Mr. Tony, as he was on his own the whole lap because of hardware issues with other drivers. Nonetheless, looks like Uti is having fun on his own. Trying
At least he was very composed. He didn't do mistakes.
he's
He
trying
was
to
there.
right here.
Very laid back race, I'd say overall.
Yeah,
And
he's trying to
it's
relive.
just to finish first. First you have to finish. So
Exactly. I mean,
good on Johnny. Good on Johnny.
I would say Lorenzo that he's reliving his Gran Turismo 4 days, battling your own lap times.
Yes. I think he's gonna get one more lap.
Oh, we have a yellow
Might
in
just
sector
do it.
2. As it goes away, and this is should be the last lap for
Last lap.
Mr. Guti or Senor Guti.
I think he has one
This is
more
the last
lap to go. Yes. This is the last lap.
This is the
Let's
last
see. Let's
lap.
see what. Yeah, as he comes up to lap Roos and Peterson, so this is the last chance for Roos.
This is the last chance for Roos, as he's 1.8 seconds. I doubt, but I won't, and I doubt
Yeah, I
he
know.
will make anything special, as he is
Unless
suffering.
Gutierrez has a
could
contact
push-
with Peterson, I reckon.
We wouldn't want that, but he
Reckon
could
yes.
put, not contact, but he would push him wide. I mean, he's still 1.6 seconds, so you're gonna have to get
Yeah, but
close. And
Guti will not push it.
it looks like, and there's
that,
also
I
no
think,
Lorenzo. There's no passing opportunities anymore here, except this.
there's one more in after the
side.
back stretch.
Yeah, it looks like he's
After the
1.2
backstretch.
seconds. Well, looks like Joni is trying not to interfere with this battle, but not sure what's going on. That's why Kuti isn't picking. It looks like he's mistaken that he still didn't finish the race yet. Probably he got the wrong impression right there, as he's slowing down big time.
He's slowing down also John.
And it's interfering with Jens.
Yes, that's
Roots.
weird.
It's like
Could get a
Johnny.
penalty for that.
Johnny might not know that he did not finish the race yet. But that is it for Mr. Jens.
Yes, there's no chance now.
There's no chance,
over.
as
So Patterson
Johnny Gutierrez will cross the finish
P3
line.
in class. Now Johnny comes up to gain.
Yeah, goes uphill,
Gain his overall win, and well deserved, I'd say.
bringing that car home. He needs to cross the finish line. There
Yeah,
you
he
go,
does.
Johnny.
There you go.
Excellent stuff from Johnny.
And Whitehead, with an incredible pace all day, was able to recover from an earlier spin and to gain the place on Gnazzi with a spectacular move up the inside of the Italian driver, and is now up in the last section of the race. And yeah, pretty much
Great test.
good showing, I would say, from Jason
Show
Whitehead.
indeed by Jason Whitehead. Good friend of mine, used to know him back in Race to Play. Very fast driver. Knows exactly what he's doing. Especially when he's in the right car. As we see right now, about to cross the start-finish line.
Goes up the hill for the last time, and there we go across
That is
the
it
line.
for Jason Whitehead. But let's not forget about our hero of the day, Barrett Ericsson, with a consecutive,
Yeah.
potentially, he's going
This is
for
gonna
it.
be a back-to-back win.
It is.
Yes.
I mean, it will be. Let's not ruin it for the guy, but it will be, as he march his way to the finish line right now.
Last section.
He goes in with
Just
proud,
a couple corners to go.
well-deserved performance showcased today by Barrett, the man, Ericsson himself, as he takes that car home, goes up the hill, ready to cross the finish line, proudly win the race of Road. I was gonna say something like Road America.
Road
And
America.
it is Road America, you're right.
Oh right, I was gonna say I got mixed between Road America, Road Atlanta. So many roads.
Not over yet.
But what's
No, it's
important
over.
is the
Lance
fight.
just not letting Badison
close.
relax for 1 single second as they come up
Yes,
to cross
oh
the line
my.
and finish the race. Badison able to
Close
keep the
stuff.
car in P3. Good stuff from these drivers.
Close stuff as Lewis
Really good
already
battle.
finished his
They were very
race.
close. Very, very close.
Very close
And
indeed, very close. I'm trying to look for who did not finish the race yet, as it seems that most drivers.
they finished. Tom Parton is doing the last lap.
Doing his last lap right now. Looks like he did already finish. Maybe he's not aware. Looks like people are having issues with.
No, he didn't finish because
He's going on a slower pace from what I'm seeing right now. I mean, we were robbed from seeing Joe Brown, Nigel, Ed Jones, Tony,
yes,
due to difficulties and DNFs, DQs as well.
no, he did finish, but game doesn't require. But he finished. He finished the race. He's on P6.
Beautiful
Good race
stuff.
from Aston.
Beautiful stuff indeed.
Oh, the garage. Oh no, he's making his way to the back. To the garage.
Did Oli finish? Yes, they did
Yes,
finish.
no,
They did. Everyone finished, right?
They're making their way back to the garage.
Yeah, everyone finished, and that was a race filled with jammed packed with action, close battles, spinning, crashing. Everything you asked for happened today. We never wish for crashing or anything, but it is part of the race. It happens, and when it happens, sometimes it could be spectacular. I mean, it's bad for the drivers, good to watch. We feel for the viewers as much as we feel for the drivers, and nonetheless, beautiful stuff. Good job to all drivers. We'll jump into the session results in a while, as we'll be showcasing right now the results from the LMP guys. Looks like the winner today, and it doesn't look like it is confirmed, the winner, that is Tony Gutierrez. 50 laps, unfortunate race for Tony, did not finish due to hardware issues. Moving on to the P2 guys, we have Jason Wyatt, number 33 car, 48 laps, the winner of the race. Congratulations to him. A podium, beautiful podium from Giuseppe. 48 laps, followed by third place, Mr. Tanner. Beautiful podium position for him today, followed by Roger Hintz, Andrew Hopper, and Thomas Holzel. Sorry if I can't spell that name right. I have to contact him privately to get that correct. Moving on to the GT class, Barrett Ericsson. Beautiful consecutive back-to-back win from Barrett Ericsson. Congratulations. First position, followed by podium place, second place for Didier Coelho, followed by Oli Patterson, number 3, position 3. Beautiful fight with Mr. Jens, almost half a second at the end of the race, and puts Mr. Jens in the 4th place, followed by Lewis Middleton at the 5th place with that Porsche, and Tom, not last but not least, in the 6th position, in Tom Patron in that Aston Martin, followed by John Van Der Kest, a spectacular coming back from 30 seconds all the way back up to 7th place. The best he can do, I would say. Good stuff from John, followed by Rob Millen in the 8th place in that purple Porsche, and the 9th place David Capruzzi, and the 10th place Alberto Alvarez. We have next, Ed Jones did not finish, unfortunately. Nigel Middleton did not finish, and Joe Braun got DQ'd. That is
It
it
was a very intense race.
for this race.
I would
Indeed,
say
Sam.
it's worth taking a look at the battle of the day. Please nominate the two drivers involved for us. And me and Sam made the decision just now. We have looked at the replays and everything, and I'd say the battle of the day goes to Batterson and Jens Roos on the both on the Ferrari. They really gave us a show today. Equal car, very similar setups, very similar lines, but in the end, Batterson just at the edge. Great piece of driving by both drivers with some cracking moves up the outside, which is really not expected in Road America. So I would say that battle was the best. Although there
Yeah.
were some good scraps in LMP2 as well with the Gnazzo and Whitehead. That surely goes in second place for our battle of the day. And yeah, guys, it's a really great race. I would say I enjoyed this a bit more than Patras, maybe.
It was indeed.
It was very intense.
Yes, Sam, it was packed, jammed, filled to the max
The two
with.
Ferrari were fighting
We saw
each
Ferrari
lap.
battles, took us back to the old
Mm,
days. We saw the Porsche putting
the
moves.
night in the beginning was
Yeah.
very tricky. So we
Unfortunately, I
saw
can't wait to see battles in the P1 class. I really want to see
Yes,
battles in there.
me too. I want to see the Ginettas going at it while the LMP2 boys battle themselves. So I think that's the missing element in this
at the moment,
championship.
yes. But if the LMP category would be more filled, I think Guti and the other guy will be enjoying more. Unlucky with Tony because they were fighting in the beginning, and but then they had the issue. Otherwise, I think Guti would have struggled more and more to win this one.
Like we're trying to put you guys back, but nonetheless, uh, race for today is over. Uh,
We recommend you to join SimRacing Online
And
if you want to join.
we have a driver in the P1 class in the chat that has suggested that probably P1 may uh, fold as a class due to the lack of attendance in team wise. So we might get another competitor, a strong competitor, I would
In the
say,
GT or even
in the
LMP2.
GT or in LMP2. So that's really good. And yeah, we surely hope to see another good race next time around, which is the 20th of February to 2022. And it's going to be, let me check the schedule.
it will
I
be.
believe
It
it's
is
going to be
shown.
Istanbul.
It is
Istanbul
shown. It is
is
shown right
Turkey.
now
Yes,
that round four
Istanbul.
Turkey.
will be
So
in the 20 February
great track,
2022.
great track to be. So make sure to stay with us, guys, because we are going to stream that as well. Same time schedule.
The 20th
Lorenzo,
February.
Sam, and Nas always here to commentate on the best racing possible on our Factor 2 on Eitharacingteam. So stay with us, guys, and thank you for watching.
Thank you indeed for watching the race. This race will be broadcasted or uploaded, sorry, into the Same Racing Online YouTube channel. Make sure to go check it out. Watch all the highlights you guys probably missed out. And so far, looks like Barrett Ericsson retains his lead in the championship. He's now 76 points. He is 76 points, but after the points will be delivered, it will put him way too high, way up high. And nonetheless, looks like Joni and Talbiti are still fighting for that lead in the P1 class. We'll make sure to get you guys the standings so you can visually see it next time. We had issues trying to get that for you guys
But
to
they're
And
see.
actually really
also,
fighting.
one more thing, guys, actually, two more things. The first one is if you want to be part of the series, go check our friend's website. It's in the chat, simracingonline.co.uk. Those guys have many series coming up on both R Factor 2, Automobilista, Assetto Corsa, whatever sim game you wanna try. So make sure to to have a look. And secondly, follow us both here on Instagram and join our Discord to stay up to date with everything. So thank you if you do that, and we'll see you in the next one.
Indeed, those were the last words from Lorenzo. We greatly thank you from bottom of our hearts for watching this. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next race, and goodbye.
See you.